Hello everybody, I think we are live, working on something a little different. Okay, there's my hand. No snowy owl. I'm at the airport, and as usual, I haven't seen anybody, snowy owl-wise. And I stopped at the location where we saw one last week, at ground level near the gas well, and unfortunately when I arrived there were already a number of people out there, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure what that reason is, they were putting out what looked like snow goose decoys. So I took a quick check, and sure enough, and they were pretty close to, fairly close to where, to that gas well where we had seen the owl, and sure enough, there was no owl there, at least nothing that I could see. So I decided to move along, and I didn't really search the area there, I have to admit. And so now I'm here. Now, I've also, I'm currently trying something a little new in terms of technology. And I'm hoping that it helps us today. We'll see. My purpose in trying this is just hopefully a clear picture. I won't be using it all the time, even if it's a complete success, just because of its nature. But anyway, we're giving it a try right now. The whole purpose, my hope is that we stay connected a little bit better. We were having a few problems last week, and I've been hinting at potentially doing something to improve things, because there are certain areas where I'd like to go in the springtime where our connection has been very, very poor. So I'm hoping to improve upon that, and we'll see how it goes. And again, I can't use it all the time. I need, for full benefit, I need the car. And last I checked, the car is just too heavy for me to carry with me at Sapsucker. So we're going to try this for now. Anyway, I don't see a snowy owl here. I have myself never seen a snowy owl here at the airport area. So we're going to continue on and head towards Montezuma. Take a look around there, see if there's anything interesting going on. If not, we'll pack up and I'll head back to Ithaca. So that's the story. This is not sour grapes, but I have a feeling that even if I had seen a snowy owl in that usual location at that other, along the gas well in that other location, given the fact that it's kind of a sunny day here, well, it is a sunny day, I worry that our long distance view like that wouldn't be quite so good. There'd be a fair amount of the heat distortion involved. I did, while I was there, see for a few moments a couple of horned larks. Anyway, it is, again, it's obviously sunny. It's 32 degrees right now. So for photography, the weather could be a problem, but otherwise it's actually a fairly nice day. I can't speak for the Montezuma area, but I know it's in my own area. It's been cold the last few days, especially at night. And during the day, it's been like, maybe low 20s. So it hasn't actually, We haven't seen any signs of spring in terms of warmth. Not really. But today's really not that bad. I mean, you know, when you're talking in the 30s, it's not too bad. If today's going to be a good day to see birds or not. Well, we're going to give it a try, of course. So anyway, right now, my technology setup within the car is a little different than normal. It's very possible that if we are seeing anything of interest or whatever, and I'm switching cameras or dealing with things, that I may be a little bit clumsier than I normally am, and things may be slower in terms of changing cameras or whatever, but we'll see. There's always a chance that we won't see anything worth really looking at. I think I see a hawk. Well, it's not close anyway, even if it is. I'm not sure if it's a hawk or not. It could be just some leaves on the trees. Just wanted to take a quick look at it. 1 second. Yes, looks like a red-tailed hawk. Not close, so I'm not going to bother showing it to you. Check in on the chat room. 1 second, I'm going to pull over. Just want to see how you guys are doing. Yeah, I know I started a little early. It's okay. You haven't missed anything. What happened, if you're just tuning in, I've gone to I've visited 2 locations. One where we have seen a snowy owl, and one where the airport where it's where they've been reported in over the last few weeks. Although I've seen no reports of a snowy owl for several days anywhere. But anyway, I stopped where we did see one last week, and as I said, when I arrived in that, the most likely area, there were human beings out in the field there, not far from the gas well where we have seen the owl, and they were putting out what looked like snow goose decoys for whatever reason. I don't know if they hunt them. I don't know. But, and they had quite a few of them out there. And so I figured that there wouldn't be an owl there just with the human presence, and sure enough, I didn't see one there. And then I moved along to the airport where I have personally never seen one, and a snowy owl, and sure enough, I didn't see one again. But I thought, since I was there, pulled over and everything, and I thought I would set things up and get things up and running. And especially because it is, for me, an unusual setup that I've never actually really used before. So we're trying something new on the technology front. Hopefully it won't harm you any, and hopefully you'll get good views here, wherever we go. And like I said earlier, it's a different setup, but it's one I wouldn't imagine I'd be using throughout the day for various reasons. But I figure while we're in the car, we can use it and take advantage. So you're up to speed. Visiting it really most weeks this winter. One or two we missed, and I've enjoyed it. Now maybe it hasn't been the right thing to do, but it's certainly been interesting, different to me anyway, to go to various locations in the Montezuma area and hopefully see things. The Wildlife Drive, which we obviously have not driven this winter because it's closed, is not yet scheduled to open. Actually, weather permitting, it should be opening, the beginning of next month. Again, weather permitting. You never know. See us doing this next year like we've done this year? It's possible. I mean, I think it depends. As I've said before, one of the main reasons why I'm up here is the snowy owl sightings, potential snowy owl sightings along the way, and since we're this far along towards Montezuma, I've decided we can come here anyway and look around. And I guess if the owl sightings are good next year, maybe we would do the same thing. I don't know. Hawks on a power pole, just on a low utility pole. I should have stopped, but there's a car behind me, and I saw them a little bit too late anyway, but they're right, pretty close to each other on the pole, looking quite cute. I've seen hawks in this area, for years, so that's not a surprise to see them there. as I've said before, in some ways, this is new to me. I've never come up here in winter time, prior to this year. So it's just a different sort of experience. Not that it's radically different than what I had imagined it would be. Is there somebody? Hold on one second. No. I'd just say that coming up here, the main advantages, and coming up here as we have, the main advantages would be, getting, the most out of the fall migration. Not that we saw everything there could have been, there was to see, but we didn't miss any weeks where potentially there was something good. And then, on the other side of that, we may see things for spring migration we might otherwise have missed. Was it last week? No, the week before. You may recall I mentioned having seen snow geese as I drove along coming up. Didn't see any last week or today so far. But had I not been coming up here, I would have totally missed them. Hopefully we'll see some ourselves together and see them close and see them in a good spot, but we'll see. But the point is, some of the earlier migrations in prior years, if I'm not coming up here, well, obviously we can miss them. So who knows? Coming up here as much as we have might be beneficial. It's not to say that we aren't missing things, in Ithaca. Maybe I'm missing something on the campus, for instance, right now that I would love to record. I don't know. Personally, I don't know if I've seen any signs of migration just yet in terms of the early arrivals. I did see some robins 3 robins 1 or 2 days ago in an area where I wouldn't ordinarily see them this time of year. So it's possible that some robins have arrived, but I'm not sure. For all I know, they were, wintering in the area anyway. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. Now, just so you know, what I'm doing does rely, technology-wise, does rely on the car. So I believe I may have to keep the engine running and for full benefit. And you might say, so? And, well, remember, sometimes looking over longer distances, if the car is running, the car has enough vibration that it's noticeable. So we'll see how things work out with that. See a crow in the air and one in a tree that we just passed. Hopefully the signal's good. Headed to some of our usual spots, but we're definitely going to go to that area where I believe there's an eagle's nest. We'll take a look at it. That's assuming that the signal holds. I've been hesitant to go there just because the signal doesn't usually hold. With this different setup, I'm hoping it's in signal strength. See how we're doing. Hold on 1 second. There's nothing I can do about it. Might get a little better. That was a tough spot right there. Hopefully things will improve. We'll see. For reference, I had something that was, it's an indicator, and let's say it was at 4 right along, it dropped down to, oh. Shoot. That was a bird of prey of some sort, I think. I bet it's a merlin or kestrel. Let's see. I'm going to look at it with binoculars. Looks like a kestrel, I think. Yes, that's an American kestrel. This won't be good. It's through the windshield, and it's just the way it is. Oh, wait a minute. Oops, oops, oops. That's better. Forgot something. At least I believe it's a kestrel. First one we've seen on the tour in a little while. Wouldn't mind a better look. I just don't know where I'm going to get it from. I love kestrels. Beautiful birds. Amazing flyers. Let's hope we can drive by without bothering it. Still there. Maybe. My problem is I don't have a good spot from which to view it. We're gonna continue on and see if we can see the eagle nest. I need to know if we can do that. Otherwise, this whole effort with the different setup is not worth it. It's dropping. 0.9. 1. Hold on a second. I want to look at something. I think I see an eagle. We're going to get closer. Ooh. 0.3, 0.4. Okay, we're gonna pull over right here. I'm gonna switch cameras in a moment. Let's see if we can show you the eagle and what I believe is an eagle nest. The conditions are, in terms of sunlight, are not very good. It's too bright for my taste. Okay, ready?